Run. I'm your host, Ana Bellinghausen, along with the Johnny the Jet Rogers.
Hey.
Not a crop plane. You're still the Jet.
Not a, what did you say, a helicopter?
He said a helicopter.
Called a helicopter.
Plane.
And, of course, touchdown Tommie Frazier as well. Guys, we are proudly sponsored by Cornhead Lager, the perfect beer to enjoy while watching your favorite game. And every single purchase helps support NIL throughout the 1890 initiative. Pretty sweet deal with NIL and helping those student athletes. I want us to just talk about that. I know you wish you had NIL.
Yeah,
My biggest question is how much would you guys have made, but maybe we shouldn't talk on that.
Who knows? You know, the cost of a dollar is a lot different then
That's true.
than it is now.
You got something, didn't you? Didn't you have something?
I wish I would have. I wish I would have.
I'm not telling you.
Yeah, I wish I would have.
That's a NCAA violation back in those days.
Johnny, you got something. You got something.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
Don't tell us. Zip it shut.
Nothing. Only thing I know, Anna, is that for the first time in weeks, let me stand up a little bit because my booty's been so tight. It's finally loosening up. We're getting close to that bowl game.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so my booty's loosening up.
One more game, Johnny.
A tight booty? Oh, my God.
He was worried at the beginning of the year. I don't know. I don't see it. I said, Johnny, we got plenty of games. We'll be fine.
I'm just telling you, we have to have it, though.
Especially after we started 0-2. He really was tight. He's like, I don't see it. I said, Johnny, we got plenty of games.
He was ready to go hire Deion Sanders after game 2.
I tell you that we are not there yet.
But I like the odds.
I like the odds, too. I'm going for the odds, but anything can happen.
Yeah, but I like the odds, though.
Fumble on the kickoff.
I can't start games that way.
Right.
Well, guys, today we'll preview Nebraska at Michigan State. Nebraska opening up as 3-point favorites on the road, which says something for sure. So if you say that game's at home, it's probably a 6.7-point favorite, but being on the road and facing that. Tommie, just starting with you, what's your overall impression of that line?
Well, I don't like the line. I think there should be more because I've watched Michigan State play several times this year, and they're going through the coaching changes, and that had a direct effect on the team. I don't think they're really playing up to that level. But for some reason, teams always find their way to when they come to Nebraska, play their best.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I don't know. Even when Nebraska's down, when they're not winning a lot of games, teams still play their best games against Nebraska. So I think the odds makers know because that's why they gave them a 3-point favorite on the road. Now, if it was at home, I think it'd probably be a 10, 11 point.
Sure.
Well, I think because it is on the road, it makes a difference. It makes a big difference because it's senior day, you know, and the players are coming to play. It makes a big difference because they got good players. They got some good players. They're all good offense, good running backs and stuff. They can really do it, but they just have never, ever been able to be as lucky as we've been. See, they had more going for them than we did.
Well,
we had players fall out. They still got players that are there to play, but they just haven't been able to pull it together.
Yeah, I get some people all say lucky. No, they win the game. They were supposed to win the game. Luck is part of anything you do. Luck is part of life. The good thing. Luck is falling on our side right now. So I want to be lucky for the rest of the season if you don't help us win.
Well, I like to plan it out and then work your plan. The first step in your plan is to not divert from that plan. We can't really depend on luck, but you can depend on your ability if you got it and your players to play up to their ability. But we've been lucky. You don't think we've been lucky?
Oh, we've been lucky.
But all the injuries, we had no idea that we'd have these players playing at this part of the season. They didn't start off playing. We got more freshmen playing than we got regular.
But maybe that was part of the plan, though.
God's playing.
No. God's playing. And maybe Matt Rule's
or the
playing.
devil's playing.
Maybe
somebody's being funny.
Look at it. Maybe Matt was like, let's play these older guys since they've been here long, but let's get these young guys in here. And it just so happened that some of the oldest guys got hurt and the younger guys have stepped up. And I'm enjoying the future's bright. These guys just continue to grow the way they're growing. Nebraska will be good for some years.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's been impressive that the younger guys have stepped up. A lot of times they get set down, they don't get an opportunity.
Right.
So we got better players sometimes sitting on the bench than we do in the games. Mm-hmm. And some of these guys have stepped up and showed that they could have played. They could have been in the game in the beginning of the season.
Right.
So now they get an opportunity, and they're not letting the team down. And that's what I kind of really like about Matt now is that he seems to be a player's coach.
Let's coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so he's really got the Warriors. Matt's Warriors are starting to really come out, and they're in for the fight. And it's working for them. He got them believing. that they can really do this, and they're making it happen, whether it's luck or they're making luck.
Right.
They're making their luck turn out. And so it's very encouraging that he can motivate them to that degree on that level. And that it's really encouraging that they're freshmen coming up. So we got 3-4 years that we can really grow into this. And because of that, other guys will be encouraged to come to University of Nebraska too when the recruiting comes. NIL money starts, they're going to get more money.
Yeah, and what I like about this team is that even with all the adversity, they're still finding a way to win. They're not letting all the turnovers and stuff get them down to where they can't go out and perform. So, and that says a lot about these players. It says a lot about the staff. That no matter what, it's not always going to be good out there. Well, what do you do when something bad happens? How do you respond? And they're responding the right way so far.
Well, like I said, I hope they stop it.
Well, we all hope they stop. We all hope they stop.
It gets less and less. I mean, I was shocked that we had a fumble on the first play.
Right.
We can't do that and win.
We've done that several times. We fumbled on the first drive, threw an interception or something like that. But
can't win that one.
But it's
consistently.
But it's how the defense responded. To push them back. Where they basically had to punt the football, Nebraska got the ball back. So, 4 turnovers, 5 turnovers, and you still win the game by 17 points. That says a lot there.
Well, we're playing a bad team.
Well, they made a lot of mistakes, too. They made a lot of mistakes, too.
Who's going to make the most mistakes?
And who capitalized on the other team's mistake is what I looked at.
Well, that's almost hilarious. So that's not the way I've known football games to be. It's whoever makes the least amount of errors generally wins the game. And you can go, like in the game of the century, I remember we had 1 offside penalty in the whole game.
Right.
Between 2 teams. That's 1 darn penalty in the whole darn game.
But what you're saying that, though, but Purdue had less turnovers than Nebraska.
No, I didn't say Purdue.
No, I'm saying, when I said Nebraska capitalized on the opportunities they had, well, if Purdue would have capitalized on mistakes that Nebraska made, it would have been a blowout. So I just think that, of course you want fewer mistakes, less turnovers, but if you take advantage of the one you do get a turnover, you capitalize on that, then you have a better chance of winning instead of not capitalizing on it.
Well, the reason why you capitalize is because you have a bad team. Otherwise, you can't come back. You make a mistake, you get crushed.
I'm not gonna say Purdue was that much worse than Nebraska. I thought going into the game they were evenly matched. I honestly did. We even talked about that. We thought that the 11 points was too much.
How many games did Purdue won now?
They won 2.
Yeah, they won 2.
They won 2. Okay.
How many we won?
We won 5.
They're not that good. That's my point.
But look who they also played against, though. You got to also look at the teams that they played against as well, too. So I just look at in this conference, it's all about how teams match up with each other. Because it's no different than we lost to Minnesota earlier, but then Northwestern goes by and beats Minnesota. So it's all about how teams match up with each other and how, quite frankly, how players are feeling on that day.
Like it or not, Tom, I just think the West is weak. The West is just
I think everyone would agree with you on that.
Of course the West is weak.
The West is weak.
Of course the West is weak.
That's what it is, period. I remember the days back in 10, 15 years ago, they were tough.
Yeah.
They had competition.
And we talked about the West being weak, and why is the West weak? If you look at all the new coaches on the West side itself, that explains why it's weak. Because you don't see as many coaching changes on the East side of the bracket.
Well, we got a coaching change, and we seem to be doing well.
Okay.
Probably the best out of the first-year head coaches.
I think Wisconsin's doing well.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's doing well.
Wisconsin's probably the team yet to beat.
That's
probably the toughest, I would think. I don't know a lot.
Northwestern is doing well.
But I mean,
based on the turmoil that they went in and getting a late start.
The teams that we have yet to play.
Wisconsin will be tough because it's on the road. And we never won in Wisconsin.
Oh, we never won in Wisconsin?
Since we've been in the conference, we haven't won up there.
Well, that's tough. And Iowa's pretty tough.
Yeah, but Iowa lost their offensive coordinator, so you don't know how they're going to respond. He already know he's going to be.
They've only lost.
He's out after the bowl game.
Yeah, but he's out the bowl game, so you don't know how they're going to respond to that. You don't know if he's going to pack it in because he's like, I don't have a job anyway, so why should I give you my all now? But I just think that right now Nebraska's the way their schedule sets up, they can win the West if they win them all. Oh
yeah, we can go to a big bowl game.
Yeah, we can go to Big Ten championship.
We go. Can you imagine going to the Big Ten championship game?
No,
I can't either. They blow us out. we get blown out.
No, not be pretty.
Hey, baby, we need baby steps.
You talking about?
Let's miss out on that one.
I tell you, God's got a sense of humor. Anything.
But because if we do go to it, then the expectation is like, oh, it's gonna be too high. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the first year. Come on, it ain't gonna be this easy next year.
We go there, we're gonna get. It's like Michigan. When we play Michigan.
Yeah, we go Ohio State or something.
Well, guys, Michigan State this week, of course, and this has kind of been a little bit of a weird rivalry with Michigan State because the last 4 meetings have been determined by a total of 12 points. So these games are always super close. Usually the rankings doesn't matter. I mean, I think, in 21, Michigan State was ranked in the top 20, and Nebraska still took them to overtime. So it's just kind of this little rivalry. Are there teams that are just like that for certain opponents, or what's the history there? Why always close?
Because I just think that certain teams get up for certain schools. And Nebraska is one of those teams that when they go on the road, teams coming here, they're going to get the best from everybody they play. Even though the history has shown that Nebraska have been a very good football team, teams still want to beat Nebraska no matter what. And so they usually put together their best performance against Nebraska.
Yeah, because we've had a good program. Like when Nebraska and Oklahoma, whenever they played, it was going to be a good game. Yep. No matter who was. Listen, everybody's coming to play. For some reason, that's the ones that you have a rivalry against, and you come up. And that's the kind of thing that's kind of makes me concerned now, is because we're playing away. It's the senior day right now, and they're going to be up for the game, and they always have been close. So technically, because of that, we're at a disadvantage, so we're going to have to create some advantages for ourselves.
Right, and I just think they need to go out there and play, and don't worry about anything else but playing their style of football. Because Michigan State, they probably gonna do an onside kick or do a trick play that score early in the game, but that's okay because you got to expect that kind of stuff. Because Michigan State has nothing to lose. And everything to gain, nothing to lose right now.
Yeah, on a 6-game losing streak up there in Lansing.
So right now they're going to come out and do some things that Nebraska hadn't seen, try to throw some trick plays in there. What do they have to lose?
Well,
another football game?
Yeah, the 6-game losing streak will motivate you to try to give a little bit more you've been given.
But I think a lot of these players me personally, I think a lot of these players have checked out because of just reading some of the stuff and just knowing some of the coaches up there. You got guys who decided to leave already during the season going on, like some of the team leaders have decided to go in the transfer portal. So I think there's just a lot of dissension up there right now. I think there's a lot of not knowing what's going on, and you would think that the administration up there would have probably had some idea what direction they want to go, but they don't know. I mean, even the Board of Regents are up there getting into a fight over one trying to intimidate the other one. So Michigan State right now is in trouble as a whole.
Interesting.
Well, I hope they stay in trouble one more game.
Yeah, me too.
Keep it all over there for sure. How does Nebraska then carry their momentum? So 3-game winning streak, first since 2016. How do you find that momentum to bring into Lansing with you?
Like you've done the last 3 weeks. Just focus on what you do and try to minimize the mistakes you make. Michigan State can't control what Nebraska does. The only thing Nebraska control their own way they play. And if they don't go out there and play the way they know how to play and the way they've been playing, especially defensively, offense is going to struggle a little bit because there's still a lot of questions about the offensive line. We all know that. But if defense go out and play like they've been playing, their defense probably win this game by themselves.
Well, I think that Matt's style is those who are doing well, we're going to give them the credit. And those that are not doing well, I'm the problem. So when he takes that responsibility that he's the problem, it motivates those others to be on the other side of taking more responsibility because I just didn't get put down. So he has a way of pulling them up and motivating them that younger people really appreciate. Pros want to know about their salary. Where's the money? That type of deal.
And to John's point, I guarantee he's probably telling each individual what they did in practice or individual meaning, hey, you need to get better, you didn't do this. But when it comes to the media, it's always, hey, we need to do a better job as coaches preparing, and we need to do a better job of putting the players in the right situation to make the plays. You would never throw a player to say, well, he just didn't do this, or he just didn't do that, or he just didn't do that. It was all about we need to do a better job, and players like playing for guys like that.
I really am, a fan of Deion, what he's done. But it's seemingly that Rule's style of what he's done has turned out to be best because we're farther ahead than they are. So he's turned out.
Right.
He would not have said that.
No, he wouldn't have said that first couple weeks.
No, I did. I still am a fan.
I'm a fan. Come on, Johnny. Come on over, Johnny. Come on.
Well, they have a little tougher schedule too, though.
They do have a tougher
They have
schedule.
a tougher schedule
sure.
than we do.
And I believe that Colorado it was more of an uphill battle than Nebraska.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So that's why.
And they still can get to the bowl game.
And they still get the bowl
but
game.
We're at the bowl game.
Yeah, but
it's in our hands
I just think Deanna is going to be tough with their schedule. The last four
with
games.
their schedule,
the last 4 games
right.
going to be tough. But just to him winning 4 games this year says a lot.
I mean, they won one game last year.
Yeah, won 1 game last year. 2 the year before that.
Yeah.
So that's saying a lot for him winning 4 games.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I give him credit, but I'm giving Rule credit for where we are right now too, because we're at a position where we could go to a big bowl. We could win it all from here if the motivational levels continue to grow on the level they've been going. That we're definitely going in the right direction. We really are in control of our own destiny, and nobody is out there where we can't beat.
Right.
And vice versa too, though. You always have to remember that.
And they can beat us too.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can lose this one. See, this is our easiest one right here. We got to get past this one. And this one is going to be a little bit tough to get by. But if we can get past this one, we can figure out how to get past the next one.
Do you worry that guys are going to come in overly confident off a 3-game win streak?
No. Why would they?
No.
These guys are used to winning from their high school program, so you don't get overconfident. You just build off the things that you do well to keep it going. Nebraska's not in a position for anybody on that team to be overconfident because they won 3 games.
Yeah.
So they still got to look at it and say, we're still fighting for our lives here, and so we still got to do what we've done all for the last 6 weeks.
We're struggling.
Yeah.
We're struggling, but they are at the point where they want to see how good they can be.
Yeah.
They want to see just how much they can accomplish as a team, and they've outdone themselves already. So now, whatever they can get from here on going is just a blessing. Because they didn't really figure they'd get this far.
You don't want to get into a mindset of, oh, hey, this team can make so many mistakes and still find a way to win, right?
No. Of course you don't. But it's happening though, and so you can live by it now, but you can't get into the habit of saying, oh, we can turn the ball 4 times and still win. Because I guarantee if they turn the ball 4 times this week, they're gonna lose a game.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you have to be getting better.
Right. You
have to be saying how much better can we get. We can't play off our luck deal. We're going to be able to overcome these adversities all the time.
Yep.
We got to create opportunities, and if we're getting better, that's what we do. We make less mistakes. We tell each other we got to make less mistakes because the competition getting better, and the goals and the rewards are getting higher.
Right.
So we got to do better. Every single one of us have to do a little bit better than we've done before. No matter how good we think we are, we're not there yet.
And the key is if they win this game, then a lot of pressure goes off them because even when coming in the season, Coach Rule said we need to go to a bowl game. Well, if you win this game, you're in a bowl game now. Now you like that pressure's off you right there because you're already in the bowl game. Now you can just go out and start. Hey, now let's see how far we can go with this now.
Oh yeah, that's where the real pressure comes.
Yeah.
So now let's see how good we can be.
Right.
We can win out from here.
Coach Rule said in his press conference that some fan yelled at him like one more, and Coach Rule responded and said, "You just want one more?
Yeah.
Why not just win them all?
Win them all. You got an opportunity to win them all. Win them all.
Well, one phase of the Nebraska offense, defense, special teams, between those 3, I think the defense obviously has to feel the most confident. So from the Husker game notes, this nugget of information is pretty unique. So Nebraska's defense allowed just 2 touchdowns in the month of October. I mean, that's pretty impressive for a defense.
It is. And even Matt Rule said we're a defensive football team. We want offense to come along to do anything to put our defense in bad situations. But this team is a defensive football team and it's built that way. Now, do you want the offense to start carrying their load? Yes. You want that. You want all 3 phases of the game to carry that load. Coach, just imagine if the offense was playing as well as the defense right now.
Man, yeah, that'd be a really good team.
It'd be a really good football team. But coming in your first year, it's very rare you're going to see both sides of the ball at the same level. So now they see what they have on offense. Now they can recruit better players on offense. Not saying they don't have good players now, but you always got to get better. I don't care who you have. You always got to get better. And defense, just fill in the pieces and get better on defense.
Well, we had a pretty good offense going with Taggy, Billy O's at fullback, and I remember Guy Ingles was playing, but we were never the the key to our success was always the defense. We had a very solid defense. Defense really carried us all the way. We scored the points, but when you can keep people from scoring as many as you score, that's really the key, because everybody can score the points, but how many can you hold them down to? And I think our key right now, along with our schedule, being the type of caliber of players that we're playing, they can handle them. They can handle them.
At the beginning of the season, if I would have asked you who would stand out more, the offense or the defense, would you have guessed defense?
I would have.
Really?
I would have.
I would have said offense.
And here's the reason why, because defense didn't play bad last year. Defense played well last year, and so that's why. And then you're looking at offense when you're like, okay, you're bringing a whole new offensive staff, but your defense played well last year. Offense just didn't play up to their capabilities last year, so that's why Nebraska was where they were, because offense didn't step up. You didn't know who the quarterback was going to be. Same issues Nebraska have now with the offensive line. They have the same issues now.
That's my deal.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest question.
Wide receiver guys who can make a play. Last year, you had Trey Palmer that can make plays. When you take him out the system, you didn't have too many other guys that can actually make plays. So offense will still have a lot of questions for me coming into this year.
Our offensive line was always a question. And if it's always in my mind, what's up front that counts. And with those guys being in question, it was always that the defense going to have to pick up the slack.
Would you rather have a solid offensive line or a really good defense?
Really good defense.
Really good defense.
Yeah.
Really good defense.
Really good defense.
Because you can protect, you can kind of hide your offensive play with skilled players or the different designs of how you run things. But defense, if you can, like Johnny said, if you can stop people from moving the ball and scoring, you give your offense a chance.
We can score 50 points, but they can score 55.
Right.
If they can score 55.
Gotta stop them one more time.
Because as you
gotta have a defense to stop them.
As you saw, Nebraska has the opportunity to make the big plays, throwing the deep balls. But if they can do that 3 or 4 times a game, big plays, that's all they really need with the defense is playing.
Yeah, I want to talk about the quarterback situation a little bit with Heinrich Harburg. I mean, I think we just got a solidification that he will be the starting quarterback. You saw Sims go in there and unfortunately have that fumble return for a touchdown. So we talked about it in the other show, just heartbreaking to see that. Obviously not a way of a season you want a guy to go that came in here to Nebraska and transferred to be that QB1 spot.
Right.
But going forward, would you be surprised if they put Sims in ever?
No, I think they'll find a place for him. He's too talented, too athletic not to find a place for him on the football field. Now, how much would he play at the quarterback position? Who knows? But you can put him in the slot. You can put him back there where you got both guys being running backs back there. Well, you got both in the backfield. Now you're really confusing teams. But he's just too talented not to be on the field somewhere helping his team.
Yeah, I think they need to find a place for him. I mean, he could play wide receiver. A lot of different things he could do, but he's too good of an athlete to be on the sideline coming down the pike, down the road here, because he's a weapon. He's definitely a weapon. He's a good athlete. He's just not. You can't trust him with the ball at quarterback.
With the ball at quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback. But somewhere, I bet he can catch it and tuck it. But we got to try. We have to try different things in order to find a fit for him.
Could you see them actually doing that, saying, "Hey, move over to the slot position"?
They've done it before. Well, not this staff, but Nebraska's done it before. Look what they did with McCaffrey. He came as a quarterback and said, "No, we want you to play an H-back position." So you start to see a lot of teams do that when your backup is athletic but not grasping it, but you need them on the field. So let's find a package for them and get in a package of 5 or 6 plays to get them in the game.
Chubba Purdy, a name that we haven't heard too much throughout this season. Is this a guy that you feel comfortable backing up Heinrich?
I need to see more. I think he's very talented. But just based off what I saw last year, no.
Yeah.
Now the growth that he's had between last year and now, I haven't seen enough of it. The only ones that know that is the coaches, and they're the ones that are with him every day, in practice. But I need to see more from him. But the way the coaches are talking about, where they have 3 guys that they can put out there and help win football games. So I got to trust what they say because they say him every day.
Well, I feel very confident if something happens, he can step in. I think he's waiting for that opportunity to step in, and I think he should get that opportunity as well. But I would like to see him come into quarterback more than the other one to go, and he needs to go to running back, wide receiver, someplace like that.
I mean, I think it says something that Chubba even stayed with this program, right? Because he knew Jeff Sims was coming in to potentially be the QB1, and he probably knew that it was going to be a battle. So for him to stay at Nebraska, there has to be some reason, right? And maybe that's a different position, like you mentioned, Johnny. But I
think the only reason was that he's not afraid of competition.
That's a good reason.
That's what I look at. Guys who stayed here when they know you bringing in other guys means that you want the competition, because it's only going to make you better if those guys are much better than you. You know, guys who leave because they bring somebody in here, that means you're afraid of competition. There's a reason why they're bringing guys in, because if you're as good as they were, you think you are, then you would have won more games the previous years.
Unless you feel that you're being treated unfairly. When you figure that you're better than the next guy, but you're not getting an opportunity, then you get in the portal. But these guys realize that they're right where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right where they deserve to be at
and
this
maybe
point.
he probably didn't have a place to go anyway. He probably looked at it and he probably we don't have a place, somebody will stay.
Right, so I'm in a battle for the QB's position no matter what. That makes sense. All right, so Heinrich Haarberg, we've seen flashes of his potential. What do you think his ceiling is this year?
Ooh, ceiling?
Well,
yeah, what's his potential this year?
I don't think he really has a ceiling. I think he can be as good as he want to be, but he can be as bad as he want to be. I think for them, they got to control that ceiling about how much they give him, how much they offer him. Because he's still young, and he's shown that he can do more, but doing more is that helping the whole offense.
Right. That was my statement I was ready to bring in.
Yeah, you got to do what helps the whole offense.
Yeah, you have to help the whole offense. He's got to motivate the team. Like you said, the defense is set. If he can come through with offensive successes, then that's going to motivate the whole team. And that's what his particular job is. He needs to be a leader of the whole team. He's came up from the behind to come ahead and got great.
Right.
He needs to show them this is what we can all do.
Yeah.
And we have to be this way in order to go to the next level. And one at a time, let's just go pick them off. You know, one at a time.
I want to ask, sorry, that made me laughing. I want to ask also about just things that you can control as a young quarterback, because obviously you can't control drop passes, you can't control who gets hurt in offense, but as a young quarterback, what are those things that you truly can control in the huddle?
Your attitude, the way you lead, you control that. You can't control if an offensive lineman miss a block, you can control if a running back drops from the ball, but you can't control how you lead, encouraging guys. Even when you're doing something wrong, hey, that was taking the fault when you do something wrong. So right now he needs to show the offense that, hey, I am the leader of this offense, and maybe I'm the leader of the team, because usually the team looks at the quarterback to get him going. So I think his leadership right now is more important than anything else.
Leadership on and off the field. See, he needs to spend a lot of time after practice with some of the guys, as far as throwing passes is concerned. After practice, in more meetings are concerned. After practice, in better conditioning is concerned. There's a lot of different areas that he needs to be working on with other people to show them what it takes to really go to the next level.
Do you think the players trust Heinrich at QB?
Well, I think they do because they're winning.
They're winning.
They're winning. You got a guy.
All odds.
Yeah, you got a guy who's winning football games. I'm gonna trust him.
That's right. He's their leader.
He's their leader.
Got to bring up the questions. I mean, I'm just the one picking your guys' brains here, guys. Don't come at me.
Oh, we're gonna come at you. Hey. You are Molly. We're gonna come at you.
Also want to just touch on the running back room as well. Emmett Johnson having to step up in that role for Anthony Grant. What have you liked from him so far? We've seen flashes of potential too.
Well, it's hard to say what I see of him because it's not been a consistent running game.
Right.
Running backs only go when the offensive line go. And I keep telling people all the time, I mean, the whole running back room, we got players back there, but if you can't run the football because the offensive line's not blocking properly, it doesn't matter who you have back there.
When you're not getting 100 yards in carries, it's not you, it's your line. When you can get 100 yards consistently every game, you got a line.
Right.
Everybody knows that's the key. It's not how well you're running, it's how well they're blocking.
Yeah, because there was a lot of plays. He was getting hit before he got the ball. I know people say, the last long touchdown run, a blind squirrel get a nut every now and then too, right? So I mean, it's just one of those things.
Damn, a blind squirrel.
A blind squirrel, all you got to do is feel his way. He gonna find something, right? But it's running backs. Running back is one of those positions to where you truly need the offensive line to be
period.
To be good.
Yeah, speaking of that O-line and going back to Heinrich, we saw him take quite a few shots as well. We know he's a little bit banged up. Matt Rule alluded to that. Not that he's injured, but that, he has some bumps and bruises.
It's late in the season. It's getting late in the season. You're going to have him.
How much more careful do you need to be if you're Heinrich?
Can't be careful.
You can't be careful. You're a football player.
No, you can't be careful. You're no careful.
I always tell people.
That's why you got to back up.
And I always tell people, quarterbacks get hurt. Ooh. I say quarterbacks and football players get hurt when they're playing careful.
Yeah.
Football is not a careful sport. It's a rough, rugged, head-on collision sport. So Frank Soldier's always saying, if you're delivering the blow, there's less chance you're going to get hurt than when you're taking the blow.
That's a fair point.
You have more opportunity to get hurt when you're playing careful than you do when you're playing all out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he shouldn't change his game. I mean, injuries happen. Getting hurt, that's part of the game. Mm-hmm. You know, you get a free hit, you get hit in the thigh. I mean, that's part of the game. But you don't change your game up because you're afraid of getting hurt.
I feel like we saw him be a little bit more tentative on his QB runs, kind of like sliding a little bit more and backing off a little bit.
He was cold. It was cold out there.
That's the reason why. It was just too cold. He didn't want to get hit.
It was cold. Would you want to get hit?
It's a big difference.
No, not when it's 30 degrees.
Difference.
It's a big difference getting hit when it's cold and getting hit when it's hot.
Man.
And then also the ball is more slick. So I get why even the running backs weren't running the same. They weren't. That's part of the game too, where you have to adjust to the elements of the game.
Right.
Well, guys, if you haven't seen it yet, we were talking about this pre-show, but Matt Rule delivered a phenomenal pregame speech before this last game and also brought up breast cancer awareness, too, and how his wife's mother was affected and his own mother was affected as well, and just had a really incredible message for the team. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. But I want to ask you guys, who was delivering those pregame speeches? Because we don't really – I don't know. Do we have video of those?
Yeah.
What were they like?
So the team, it was always the team captains with us. Mm-hmm. You know, Coach Osborne, as we saw, his motivation is not really.
That's why I had me thinking. I'm like, was T.O. the one giving those speeches?
No. It was always our team captains. And there's videos when you go back and look at the VHS for the.
What's VHS?
Video cassette. Some VHS. You know what it is. Yeah, you gotta put it in VCR.
Oh, we
old. Well, you still got the real, but you got the filter. Yeah, but you know, Aaron Graham, Tony Veland, Mark Gilman, Jason Peters, Christian Peters. They all every game one of them gave a motivational speech. So I mean, Coach Osborne did it, but the players led the team, so he let the players lead that way. And maybe once they find a true leader, a guy who can step up and be that person, maybe he'll be the one giving the pregame speech.
Yeah, we had the same thing pretty much. Our captains pretty much gave speeches. We had special players. There were different people that were winning awards for different things that might step up. There were injured players, like we had a guy in a wheelchair that used to play wing back. He gave speeches. We did things for him. He still came to the practices, but he didn't play or whatever. So it really depends on the time of who's really going to be more effective.
And that's
in that position.
And we always thought of that. We saw ourselves as a player-led team. The coach was just there to make sure we didn't get out of control. Mm-hmm. And they made when a tough decision needed to be made, was made. But usually when the players, our unity council, and the players made a decision, the coaches went with it because it's what the team wanted to do. Now, when it came to discipline, they might have been a little bit tougher on the decisions that we made on certain players. But when it came down to the unity council, we basically said, "Hey, that's what should happen." They usually went with it. So we're more of a player-led team than the coaches, and those are the type of teams you want. Yeah. Because now the coaches can focus on all other stuff. Instead of have to worry about, okay, this player missing class, so what are we going to do with him? Or this player not going we handled that. The coaches handled that. We handled that.
Well, that probably came down from starting from Devaney on up to Osborne.
I would love to hear a Johnny Rogers pregame speech.
I gave them.
You gave them?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
How many rhymes were in them? A lot of rhyming?
Too many.
Yeah, we got to get in there, make your knees squeeze and your liver quiver, put more blood in your stride and more dip in their hip. Everybody say, "God damn, Husker ball. Let's go out and kick that ass."
That's exactly what I'm expecting that locker room sounded like back then. Wow. Guys, questions from the crowd. Let's go there.
We know we got one in there. He's stuffing his face with chicken over there. We know we got one. We know we have one. Any question? Answer any question you want.
I'm thinking.
Don't be shy now.
Thinking back there. We got Ethan.
Johnny's pregame speech would be, "Anybody playing with tight booties in here?" Let it go.
Let it grease them up.
Let it loose, huh?
Grease them up.
So when we walked into this season, we were thinking, okay, Matt Rule, when he was at Temple, at Baylor, he had a tough first year.
Right.
You think about the words that come along with football. It's like toughness, perseverance, aggression. What about Matt Rule's ability to adapt to the injury to Jeff Sims? Because I can tell you right now that the offense they were going to run with Sims versus Harburg.
It's the same offense.
Pretty sure.
You think Sims was going to run?
It's the same offense, yes. Yeah. That's why they brought Sims to the run. It's the same offense.
I just feel like there's a different level of trust now that Harburg's in there because he's shown it.
What you have to look at, so when Jeff Sims came here, he had played in a lot of top Division I Power 5 games. So he had experience in playing versus the Florida States and playing against the North Carolinas, playing against top team. So he had the experience of actually being out there and playing in big. So that's why you probably thought it would give him more, which he probably should have had more. But if you go back and look at it from now to again, it's the same exact offense. The only difference is that Harbaugh is probably running more than you thought he was, because coming out of Kearney, he was a thrower. You know, so once again, it's adapting to what he can handle. But it's just, to me, I see it's the same exact offense.
We going back there now? Yeah. All right, let's go.
Oh, of course, he's gonna wait till somebody else get one off.
I had to think. So it's a little early to kind of jump into this, but for next year with USC, Oregon, Washington coming in, what steps do you think Matt Rule has to take to compete in that league?
All he got to do is continue getting better. You can't worry about other teams. You got to focus on what you need in your team, and your team get better, because as you see, it's all about matchups. You know, everybody worry about USC, but look, they're not playing the greatest right now. You know, so that's those type of things you got to let. Washington's probably the best team in the conference right now out in the Pac-10, so you got to worry about Washington more so than USC right now. So I just think that you can't worry about what other teams. You got, what are we doing to get better from here? Because you can't control what other teams are doing. All you can do is control your own house.
Well, I think we need to make sure that it's all about recruiting in my mind. Going out and trying to identify, feeling your needs, and being able to get that and use that portal where the portal is necessary too, because there's a lot of different advantages that you got to take advantage of here right now, and what you don't have, you got to go get. But you have to be serious about the recruiting all around the country. In places where we're not getting players, we got to go. We got to go recruit, and it helps us that we're winning. It's helped us that we got a lot of new players and young players, so young players feel, hell, I can go there and I can play.
And who's to say that those teams coming in going to be as good as they are this year? You know, every team is different, and so, you know, I look at Georgia. You know, they're undefeated, but does Georgia look any better than they did this year than the last 2 years? No. So, but they're still winning, but it's a total they're winning in a different way. You know, so I just think Nebraska needs to focus on their house and make their team better, so when they face those teams, they can compete against them.
Oh, we got another one.
He has the mic. No, he got the microphone.
Oh, Colin, you had one. Okay.
And Johnny, Tommie, hi. How you guys?
How you doing, bud?
How you doing?
Thanks for coming.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for putting on a show. So I had a question. So what if any players on the Nebraska team do you see that are young, haven't got many chances, but will believe to be a great talent and help Nebraska for later on in the year?
Well, I don't know too many of the young players, but the ones that they're playing now that we didn't know about.
I mean, yeah,
you know,
the
those
whole team's out with all the injuries.
Yeah, so it's always about the next man stepping up, and so they're young. So if they're out on the field, that means the coach is looking for them to step up and be productive too. You know, so whoever's out there need to be productive.
Yeah, everybody. It doesn't make it to where you're freshman, sophomore, senior, wherever the case might be. You got to be able to get in there and make a contribution. Mm-hmm. And the freshmen, I think that the things that really make it good, then when young players get in, it encourages the other young players to be anxious to get in. You know, you can't be fearful to come in, because if he can do it, you can do it too.
I would say Jalen Lloyd and Malachi Coleman. I mean, if you're looking at young guys that need to step up, we need playmakers. You lost Trey Palmer from last year, so who's going to catch the balls, right? Who's going to catch the long passes? It's going to have to be your playmakers on the outside. So I'd say those two guys. And I'm excited because they're like big and athletic too. They're not like small freshmen right now.
And they're learning. They're getting better. That's the key. They're getting better.
Everybody's getting better.
And that's what you want to see, improvement. As the season goes along, you want to see them improve, and when you improve, then you start winning more games, because everybody's improving.
Mm-hmm. And for the other question about the new conference, basically the new conference, I would say offensive line would be the answer there. You got to have a good offensive line.
That's in any conference. I don't care.
But in that conference specifically, in the Big Ten next year, I think O-line will be
that's in any conference. You go to the SEC. You know, Alabama was not playing very well until the offensive line started getting better.
Put the foot down.
Put the foot down. So I don't care where you are. If you got a good offensive line, you're going to get offensive, defensive line, you're going to give yourself a chance to win.
True. All right, any more burning questions from the crowd? What's that?
I got one for Johnny.
Oh, you got one for Johnny? Okay.
As he talks with his mouth full.
Hold on now. It's down.
Tommie's spicy today, guys.
Johnny's favorite word, I've heard him say it every single week, has been portal. Portal. Let's go into the portal.
Right.
We see all these young guys that are now getting that opportunity and competing. Say we do bring guys in that can produce, but what does that say for these young guys that, okay, now competition's actually back? Like I showed myself last year, but maybe we got a senior that's going to, or a junior that's going to transfer in. He's going to play his senior year here. What does competition do for young guys versus somebody that you're going to grab in the portal?
Well, I can take myself as an example. If I'm freshman coming up on the sides of a sophomore, and they bring a senior in, and I'm kicking his ass. I mean, I don't care who he is. So if you believe that you have the talent, then you're not worried about who they bring in. That's good backup for you because you don't think all of a sudden he could maybe going to knock you out unless you're not going to be treated fairly.
And my whole deal in the portal that I'm not a big fan of the portal because there's a reason why people leaving one school going to the next school. But I think that there's a place for it to where I don't think this team is going to, I don't think Matt Rule and his staff just going to go and get 3 guys for wide receiver out of the portal, 4 guys. So I think they're going to go to the portal and get guys where they know they need help right now because the younger guys aren't coming along as fast as they are. So the portal helps in that way. But I'm a firm believer. There's a reason why kids go to junior college, and there's a reason why kids are in the portal. And so two of those aren't very good reasons. So me. You go in the portal to get what you know that you really need help with right now. And if you got young guys like receivers, you might need to go get another big receiver out of the portal. But I think you got some young guys there that are showing. Running back, you got guys there. You got a young list there. Quarterback, I think you're pretty set at the quarterback position in the portal. Now defensive lineman, you can always get more defensive linemen. Defensive lineman linebackers always get more of them. So I think you go in the portal and get players that you see that you need immediate help right now.
Well, I remember when we didn't have the portal when I came up. We had junior college transfers.
Right, it was junior transfer.
We came up, when I was a freshman, came up to a sophomore, they brought in a couple of junior college transfers that really made a difference on our offense, and they brought a couple in and really made a difference on defense. I mean, and that was the difference between winning the Big 8 championship and winning the national championship. They filled those holes. And it's basically the same thing. The portal is junior college transfers are coming in from someplace, but it's no different in my mind.
And that's
it's basically the same thing. Just call it something.
In my recruiting class, we signed 26 guys in my recruiting class, and 4 of them were junior college players. So and then most of them was on the defensive side of the ball. So, I mean, there's a place for them, but you just can't go out there and live and die in the portal because look what's happening in Colorado. I mean, he did all.
Said he wanted to get rid of all those O-linemen.
And I mean, he's a winner, but he brought those O-linemen in there. Now he wants to get rid of them because of the portal. So you can put your dab in the portal all you want to. You better make sure you get the right ones.
Well, you got to get the right ones, but they have won 3 more games than they won before, so it has helped some.
Well, Nebraska,
so now they got to go in there and they got to get some more.
Well, Nebraska won the same amount of games, but you got to feel it now. Last year. I mean, 2 years ago. I mean, both ways work.
You don't have a choice. When you have a weakness, you got to fill it now. So if that's what it takes to go in the portal to fill it now, otherwise your team is not going to be encouraged. Mm-hmm. Say you got running backs and you don't have good offensive line and you can't run. How is the offensive back the running back on the field encouraged if we can't got the same guys up there that couldn't block next year they had last year?
And that's when you go in the portal to get guys to fill in those areas. But you don't need to do an overhaul. Just go and get guys at the portal because they're this right here when you got young guys here.
No, you got to fill your gaps.
You got to fill your gaps in the portal.
Yeah.
I can't believe you brought up the portal word.
Johnny's second favorite word is now. Just so you know.
I was going to say that too.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, to round off the show, we got about 15 minutes left. I always come up with a new creative segment that these guys love. Mm-hmm. This one is called Tackling the Holidays because it's November now, so it's the holiday season. My first question.
We shouldn't be having Christmas music playing right now. Let's get past Thanksgiving.
That was one of my questions. When can you play Christmas music?
After Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving.
Celebrate. You got to celebrate the holiday that's coming up before you start worrying about the next holiday.
Now, I have a question, too, though. I wanted to ask before I forget.
Okay.
I keep forgetting. They do the press conferences where they ask the questions and to rule and all the guys. Why don't anybody have a mic? How come the guys in the audience don't have mic? We pass the mic around here. They don't have a mic.
Well, they have a mic at the podium, and then all the reporters put their
we got mics here, but they don't have a mic.
On the
we got a mic out there.
We're more advanced than them.
I guess so.
If you really want to know, it's called, they have a box, and you plug in your microphone to it, so you don't see any of them, because they don't want a bunch of microphones in the way.
Right.
But you can't hear them.
Which ones are you listening to?
Who you want to hear? You want to closer hear?
They don't have the mics at those press conferences. They don't have a mic in the audience where people are asking questions.
I can hear them. Can you guys hear them?
I don't pay attention to them most of the time. So
Kind of? Okay, maybe they need to get better mics. I don't know.
They don't have a mic.
Most of the time they just show when he's answering the question.
They just shout out from wherever they're at.
Oh, you're saying the reporters don't have microphones?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't pass. Yeah, no, they don't waste time and pass a microphone. You just got to yell the question.
Right.
Yeah, but the audiences and the people that are listening, they can't hear what they're saying.
Agreed. It takes a lot of the context out.
Somebody should repeat the question at least.
I would agree.
Yeah.
You should go down to Lincoln and offer your services.
You want to go off your services doing that, Johnny?
Yeah, that's a little too far.
They've been doing this for ages. It's
I'm trying to listen to them. I can't hear them.
This is not the White House press conference where they pass the mic around.
We pass the mic.
We do. We do pass the mic.
Like I say, because we're more advanced than them.
Well, those are reporters, you know.
And we wait until they start their chew all their food before we let
we're
ask
depending
questions.
on their information.
Yeah, and we're serving drinks and food. I don't think they do that at Memorial, but last time I checked. All right. Do you hang up your own Christmas lights?
Do I hang up my own Christmas? Well, I used to, but not anymore because I have this big old tree in front of my front yard. So hanging up lights is on for what? No, but I used to.
Okay, used to be that guy.
I used to be that guy. Get on a ladder and go. Yeah, I used to be that guy.
No.
I do not want you on a ladder, Johnny, ever.
Yeah, I know how to tuck and roll. If I fall, I'm tucking and rolling.
What is the best Thanksgiving food, since that is the proper next holiday?
Turkey?
Turkey, okay.
No, I'm a ham guy.
Ham guy?
Yeah.
Ham, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
We always have ham and turkey, more than likely, yeah.
Yep.
And greens? You have greens?
Okay, yeah, greens.
You ever
chitlins?
You ever chitlins?
No.
Hog guts.
My family. Well, my next question is, what's the worst one? And I would put that there.
Well, that's what depends on who you talk to.
For me, cranberry.
Cranberry sauce.
Yes, I think that's disgusting.
Very unnecessary.
Yes.
Now, when I was young, my favorite food was chitlins. And then when I grew up, I found out what they were. I had to stop eating.
What are they?
Hog guts.
Those are the hog guts?
Pig intestines.
Yeah.
And then green bean casserole. Don't ever bring green bean casserole to my house.
We're taking notes now.
No.
Okay, so Christmas music. What is your favorite song, Christmas music song, that you play after Thanksgiving?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No, I played a long extended version of Silent Night by who was it? The Temptations.
OJ.
OJ with a long extended version of Silent Night. Yeah.
What is the best Christmas gift you ever got as a kid?
Well, growing up in Florida, we always got bikes because we were able to ride bicycles.
Well, I would have to say a bike, too.
Yeah, we were able to ride them every year around down there.
Yeah,
so bikes.
That's the biggest thing you can get pretty much at that age.
You know, come
up
here. What do you get kids? Snowboards up here now and skis and stuff like for Christmas.
Oh yeah, we get sleds. Yeah.
Okay, sleds. Yeah.
Good sled.
Bikes and remote control cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were able to go outside and do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I remember later on I got a pair of skis. That was pretty.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was all right till I ran off the mountain, off the hill.
How old were you when you found out?
73.
Well, I think, when I first started
I don't know if there's any kids in the audience. I don't want to give away Christmas.
I remember when I first started skiing, I used to tell people that I could ski. I've been skiing for 50 years. 50 years?
50 years? And you're a pickleball champion.
That's what I told them. So when I first got on, I was in Colorado. I went to the very top of the hill.
You heard me say that's what he told them.
Yeah, that's what I told them.
I've been skiing for 20 years, 50 years?
I thought I was going to die. I fell down must have been 150 times on my way down. When I finally reached the bottom, then I got up and I got on the deal and I went back up on the deal that carried you up.
The gondola.
The gondola, yeah.
Yeah, I got it, and I've been skiing ever since.
So you just threw yourself into the fire one time and worked out?
Well, like I said, it was horrible. It was horrible. I thought I was going to kill myself, but after I went through every kind of fall you could go through, I went back up the second time, and I've been skiing ever since.
I would pay a lot of money to see that footage.
Oh, it would be horrible. It was horrible. I ran every tree.
Are you a skier, snowboarder?
There's two things you will never see me on. Three things: snowboard, skis, or ice skates.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty fair.
Oh, I love to ski. Yeah.
Do you still ski though?
Oh yeah.
At Mountain Crescent, where do you go?
Colorado.
Okay, so you go all, wow. It's
Yeah.
impressive. You have a lot of hobbies, I'm finding out.
Well, I can do a lot of
skiing.
things. Yeah.
Well, he's retired now, so he.
Oh, it's been a long time, bro. That's all I can do them. Yeah, that's it.
All right, well, if you're looking for a gift for your grandchildren, your children, anybody, the Omaha Supernovas are the new professional volleyball team in Nebraska. So they're the first one that's ever happened in the United States. Have you guys heard of it yet?
I've heard of it.
So the Omaha Supernovas are going to play at CHI Health Center, and their first game is January 24th.
Is that I think Diane Mendenhall is like the president.
She's the president. So she worked in Lincoln with Cook forever.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's the president, and of course, Gina Mancuso-Prososki, one of Nebraska's finest, coming back to be on part of that team too. So really exciting stuff. They play at CHI Health Center. You guys can get tickets today. So season tickets are on sale, and prices too. $150 can get you into all 12 games. Pretty impressive stuff. So not the priciest ticket, but still really high quality volleyball.
Right.
I think they're going to sell out their first match. And if they do, I think that's just kind of another testament to women's sports. But I want to ask you guys too, just from the volleyball perspective, you see Nebraska at number 1 and seeing them carry that excellence. I know this is a football show, but can we talk about the volleyball team too a little bit and what you guys have just seen from that program?
Yeah, I'm impressed that they're a young team, and it seems like they're just out there having fun. Mm-hmm. You know, the young team, there are a lot of them were one top-rated players coming out of high school, and you don't expect for them to play this well this early. But they seem like they gel together. They're out there just having fun, and that's what you want to see, a team out there having fun. And that's why good things are happening for them.
Well, Nebraska seems just to be into volleyball. I think I went to a press conference here a few months ago where we have one of the first professional volleyball teams that are coming here, and they're playing at the CHI.
That's what you just talked about, Johnny.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's the Supernovas.
Oh, okay.
The Omaha Supernovas.
Oh, well, I went to their press conference. Yeah.
Johnny, are you with us?
I didn't know who they were.
That was too good.
I thought it was
that was not scripted.
We just talked about that.
The pro team.
Yeah, the Supernovas.
Oh, okay.
Did you know Nebraska volleyball is number 1 in the nation?
Yes, our part. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you now.
But I also think it's good for the all the volleyball leagues and the young girls around here that they have something to look. The ones that can't go to Lincoln and watch.
Right.
They have something now to go and watch and say,
Yeah.
There's a professional league out for me now. I don't have to worry about World Cup or going overseas. I can play here now.
Yeah, because so many women had to go overseas or just ended up closing out their careers because they didn't want to go play in Japan or Germany or wherever. They want to play in the U.S., and now they have the chance to. So, yeah, guys, January 24th, really cool stuff. Omaha Supernovas will start their season at CHI Health Center. Wrapping up the show, keys for the game against Michigan State. Tommie, you go first.
Don't turn the ball over.
Well, I can't say no more.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If they don't turn the ball over, they'll win the game.
I can't say no more. I mean, what is it? Don't make mistakes. Don't beat yourself. You got to go out and beat somebody, but not yourself.
Well, guys, Saturday, 11 a.m., we'll surely find out. Thanks so much for joining the show, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Okay. Well, I like to say now, if we get 10 people at the audience, everybody should bring a friend. Every time we bring 10, 12 people into the audience, we're going to give away a drawing for autographed football.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Right. So a little
or a poster or something.
Yeah, we'll have some type of memorabilia that you can get each week that you come to the podcast.
All right, I love it. Okay. We'll hold you to it. See you guys next time.
All right, thank you.